Hey guys, what's going on? It's Adam Palmer, the Freelance King. I have other questions coming through. And this one is, before online freelancing was a thing, how would people perform freelancing tasks for money without the internet? So without the internet, I'm pretty sure we had the internet, because if we're talking freelance tasks, what are those tasks? I guess, photography before the internet, like in the early 90s. I don't know. The way that they would do them is, before the internet, would just have like friends, and to be able to know someone within the industry. Again, let's say photography, that person would be in the yellow pages or something like that back in the day, some type of listing. They'd be in other maybe resources like newsletters, maybe perhaps in the back of a newspaper. They would take out ad space, things like that, right? And that could get really expensive if you're going to need to do that regularly. But the most trusted way was always referrals and things like that. So for the internet, it was really it was difficult, especially if you lived in a community that only had so many people. You couldn't necessarily just expand your horizon too much. I mean, right? Like, you would have to go into other newspapers in other areas and things like that. And there used to be this guy, Donnie something, and he would always say like, "Oh, we're gonna take small little ad space out in all of these different newspapers, all these like local newspapers." And that's what you kind of had to do if you wanted to really expand your business beyond your network. But yeah, you used to have to really take advantage of that too. Your networking skills, show up, have these breakfasts, and that still goes on today. But at least you can do a lot of this stuff virtually, and you don't need to be there in physical format a lot of times. I used to hate that networking stuff, like going up to someone, shaking hands, like, "Hello, I'm Adam Palmer. I do this." I was just never good at just being like, "I do this," because to know me is to like see all like the different content that we produce, all the stuff that we do, all the people that we work with, the different companies that I have. It's like, it's not conducive for a networking event. I'm not just an accountant or a financial advisor. I don't know. I'm more complicated. Not saying that's a good or bad thing. I'm just saying it's tough to just put myself under one label. But yeah, if you're a photographer, I guess that's a little more easy. And you can like also, if we were in that time, maybe help with those networking events, right? Like, oh, I could take photography and that type of thing. So you would have to demonstrate your talents in a way that gets in front of people at the end of the day. But pre-platform, and then while the internet was going on, like pre-Upwork, pre-Fiverr, those types of things, then that was leveraging other ways, like emails, like getting lists together, starting like kind of rudimentary targeting, a lot of scraping going on, these types of things where you could kind of use the World Wide Web as your phone book in a way. So that was kind of the next step after that. And then we got into more kind of futuritized platforms and things like that, where the clients could go to one marketplace and be able to find the people that they're looking for. And this has been going on a pretty long time. I mean, we had Mechanical Turks really early on, and that was like an Amazon product. I don't know if that's still even in existence, but you used to be able to kind of outsource help and things like that. And then there was the Odesk and Elance days, and then they ultimately merged and became Upwork. And then that's what you see today. And Fiverr came, somewhere in the middle of that. And it still remains to be Upwork and Fiverr are the the two big ones these days. So yeah, so it was tougher as a thing to do before the internet. And thank goodness that we have the internet now and can find this work relatively easy. So thanks so much for the question.